Hello. Yeah, so for this recording, I'm gonna talk English. Um, and the reason why is that, okay, I'm gonna explain it later. We are already in the draft, apparently. Okay, so Library of Alexandria is a pretty good card. It basically is a land that taps to draw a card, but you can only use it if you have 7 cards in hand. But it's really, really good. Then we have Tinker, which we saw last time, how good that went. Uh, just kidding. Um, Apart from that, I don't really see anything better. I actually think Inquisition of Kozilek is pretty good, but not really first pick worthy. And then, of course, it's always good to start with a dual land. But we're gonna start with this, and then I can quickly explain why I'm talking English. Actually, there's a Discord for playing Commander, which is a Magic the Gathering format, and it's basically where you use your webcam to record like your own table and your cards, and then you talk to people online and play with them. But of course, it's in English, so I wanted to practice my English a bit because I'm not really used to talking English at all, actually. I mean, I do it sometimes at university, but not really through a microphone. Okay, so here we got a counterspell. It's like basically a bit of a budget counterspell, like as in not as good, but it's still like counterspells are still very good. Then we have a Prismatic Vista, which fetches any basic. That's like really good to start with because you don't really know what colors you're gonna be. But then again, as I said last time, it's basically almost always okay to assume that you'll be playing at least some blue cards since it's the best color. Of course, you can't guarantee that, but there's nothing really wrong about it. Then otherwise, there is a Signet, which is also good. So it's between Miscalculation and Prismatic Vista. And I'm just gonna take Miscalculations because I feel like 2-mana counter spells are really good. Counter attack spells unless its controller pays 2. Okay, so we have another 2-mana counter spell, which is counter attack spell unless the controller pays 3, but you can't cycle it. Then you have a blue-white duel. Blue-white is a very good color overall. Thalia is a really good creature if you're playing aggressive, but since we got a Library of Alexandria, which kind of wants you to keep that 7 cards in hand so you can draw a card each turn, which doesn't really lend itself to aggro, because obviously aggro wants to empty their hand really quickly on the board. So if we want to go this route, or since we have Library of Alexandria, I feel like we are better off playing a defensive strategy, in which I feel like Mana Lake is very good. 2 other signets are also very good. Yeah, let's just take Mana Lake, honestly. Alright. Okay, so Liliana is very good, but double black is a hard ask. Dark Confidant is good in aggro. Flooded Strands, again, blue-white, very good. But here I'm actually looking at Detection Probe. It's a 0-mana spell, or you can cast it by paying 2 life, and it just lets you draw a card. So this will fit into any deck we end up in. Any deck can play this card. It literally just replaces itself for free, which I value pretty highly. Otherwise, there's the Mere Sickness, which is a very, very good card as well. So it's between these two. This one will work in every deck, and this one will also work in virtually every deck. I think I'm gonna take the Detection Probe just because I think it's a fun card. Yeah, basically. And I think it's good. Like, you get to also look at the opponent's hand, which is not a bad thing. Okay, so here we have the counter spell creature, which is like you can sacrifice her for 1 blue and counterattack a non-creature spell, and then she comes back once. So she's 2 counter spells in 1 creature, only counter non-creature spells, but still it's kind of good. And we're definitely gonna want to play blue, otherwise I don't really see a lot. Thirst for Knowledge is a pretty good card draw spell, honestly. But this is like really powerful, yeah. Unexpectedly Absent is a pretty good removal spell, but yeah, we're gonna take Glen Elendra Archmage. Okay, so I'm having a bit trouble talking English, but yeah. Okay, so we do actually get a really late Tropical Island. And last draft we were blue-green, but since, like, if this is going so late, I feel like there's not really... I mean, Fatal Push is a very good removal spell, honestly. That could be a contender. We're not really in either black or green. It's between Fatal Push and Tropical Island, and I feel like a Fatal Push would work great in a control deck. But Tropical Island going this late, I kind of see as a sign, like somebody should have picked this card up. Like, this should not be going this late. Okay, so here we have a lot of... I'm seeing a lot of black. Nykthos is good in green decks. Scavenging Ooze is actually a pretty great creature because it can remove cards from your opponent's graveyard, so that's pretty good. Not really looking to get into white aggro. Yawgmoth is kind of wonky. It's like you can proliferate, so if you're playing counter strategy. Imperial Seal is not bad, but it's not crazy either. I think Scavenging Ooze is a good card, and we just picked up a blue-green dual land. Okay, so we have some powerful cards here. Shack Typhoon is a very powerful blue card. Not gonna pick up Yawgmoth's Will. Thief of Sanity is a very, very powerful blue-black card, and Time Spiral is kind of a meme card, but it's actually pretty good. Ravenous Excavator lets us play cards from our graveyard, which is also good, but I feel like it's either Thief or Shack Typhoon. And since Thief forces us to also play black, we did see a lot of black, but yeah, we did see a lot of black. So I'm gonna kind of try to get us into blue, black, green. And since we don't know actually if we want to be green, we could just be blue, black. In that case, I'd want to pick up Inquisition. It actually came around. Like, this was our first pack, and Inquisition is pretty great, honestly. Early Disruption. Okay, so Leovold is like a really powerful card if you can get these will effects. It requires us to be 3 colors, otherwise there's Prismatic Vista, which is just always good. But I actually feel like I want to try this because I feel like both green and black seem pretty open. Blue is obviously never gonna be open, but we actually got to pick a lot of good blue cards. So here we have like a reanimation card. Otherwise we have some different... I think I'm gonna take Seachrome Coast because if we see a Teferi, we actually might want to be... this is a pretty powerful removal spell, and since we kind of want to be in Sultai, which is blue, black, and green. I don't really see us... We could pick up a Kiki-Jiki, which this would be good in. It basically fetches a creature. Oh my god, Fatal Push came around. I actually considered taking this card and it came around. So black is like, no one is picking the black cards at all. Wow. Okay. So Mind Twist is like, target play discards X cards at random. It can just win the game outright. It's a very powerful black card. Brazen Borer is just good in any deck. It's just really good. Opposition is really good in blue-green. if you have a lot of creatures, but I don't know if we're gonna end up that way. Rathalos is an amazing card if you are mainly in green. Sheldog Isle is a really, really powerful card. It's a powerful land. And we are in blue, but I feel like we're gonna take Mind Twist actually. Yeah. Because it goes with our Liovel plan, which is that each opponent can draw more than one card each turn. And whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell, you draw a card. So basically we want to empty their hand, and then we want to prevent them from drawing any new cards and just win the game by that. Trigon is pretty good, could come around, and yeah. Okay, Emrakul, pretty big card. Still unsure about whether or not we're gonna be green, because right now we only have okay, I guess we kind of want to be at least splashing green. We could pick up a Wooded Foothills. It gets us both the tropical... Oh wait, we didn't pick up a bio. There's a Hissing Quagmire. It's a tap land. Not really amazing. Venza is a pretty good blue card. But it's a bit expensive, and right now I'm mostly concerned about our mana actually, so I think I want to take a Wooded Foothills, since if we are aiming at playing 3 colors, then we're gonna have to focus on our mana. Mox Diamond is pretty great in aggressive decks, or at least decks that have a pretty well-defined plan. It sets you down a card, but it is an extra mana each turn. But we don't really have a well-defined plan right now, so I'm not so sure about Mox Diamond. We have Search for Tomorrow. It's basically a cheap ramp spell. We have Garruk Wildspeaker, which is Planeswalkers tend to be pretty good. This one ramps us, and it can create beasts. Tessica is probably gonna come back around. Casualty of War is a pretty powerful card. Yeah, maybe we're gonna take this for the heck of it. Since we are in those colors, and it is a pretty good card, but maybe not really. Okay, so we got some powerful blue cards. Riftwing is a very powerful card. I do think we want to play Ancestral Vision in this deck. It draws you 3 cards, but you have to wait 4 turns. But if you put it down early, it's gonna be pretty amazing. Thieving Skydiver is gonna steal an artifact, but I think people are undervaluing this card. I think it might come around. Otherwise, we have a Lotus Cobra and a Cloudskate and a Ravenous Chupacabra. We do already have some removal, so I think we need to get some draw. Okay, not seeing a lot of crazy good cards here. Skullclamp is pretty amazing. Joraka Treespeaker is pretty amazing. Skullclamp kind of requires us to have at least some creatures. And right now we only have 4 creatures, and none of them really die easily. So I think we should maybe pick up a Treespeaker. It's early ramp. It's actually quite powerful, and then maybe hope that Skullclamp comes around. It's probably not gonna, but yeah, we still are prioritizing dual lands very highly. Dryad of the Elysian Grove makes every lands of all our lands tap for everything, so it just instantly mana fixes us, which actually could be very good in this deck. And then it lets us play an extra land each turn, which is not that bad at all. Phantasmal Image is a very cheap clone effect, and then Vampiric Tutor gets us any card. Actually, I feel like taking the Tutor, since if we're gonna be playing a control deck, then we're gonna have to it's gonna be pretty powerful to get specific cards in our hand. Okay, so Assassin's Trophy is a powerful removal spell. It basically gets rid of anything. Baleful Strix is a really good early game creature. It protects against anything, and it cantrips. Questing Beast is a really powerful green creature, but we're not really looking to be playing a lot of expensive creatures necessarily. It is a really powerful creature. Same with Hydroid Crazes. I think we're gonna take the good removal spell. Nature's Claim is a really good removal spell. It gets rid of any artifact or enchantment. I can't really argue with that. This is an okay removal spell as well for creatures, but we already have a lot of creature removal. I think I'm gonna take this. Okay, Dragon came around. An excellent card for us since we're playing a defensive strategy, controlling strategy. We do need some creatures because that's basically our win con. We can only really win by beat down. Now we don't have any combo. Blast Zone is an okay card as well for a defensive deck, but yeah, we really need some actual fixing, and this is like the opposite because it taps for colorless. So yeah. Okay, so here's a green-black dual land. Plow Under is pretty good in a ramp deck, but we're not really ramping that hard at all. What does this do? Okay, so that's a weird creature. I think we're just gonna take the land. Okay, Tessica is actually an amazing card. It has Delve, so you can play it pretty cheaply if you have a lot of cards in your graveyard. And yeah, it's just a good value engine, exactly what we want. Okay, so not really anything in our colors right here except for this reanimation spell. Yeah, probably going out in our sideboard. Another reanimation spell, or this card, which is basically a birthing part from my last draft, but it's on a creature. Is this gonna be better than this reanimation spell? Oh, I guess we just got it. Okay, let's just pick creatures. I don't think we're gonna play this Prime Speaker. Oh, Dark Ritual might actually be pretty good. Oh, sorry. Okay, so not any lands, not any dual lands, but Nissa Who Shakes the World is a very, very powerful card. Like, she just makes the land into a 3/3 beater every single turn, and it's just very hard to deal with in a grindy game, and we are trying to be grindy. We are trying to like value the opponent out. So yes, I think like this is the correct pick. We don't have the mana to cast a Miracle, and yeah, not really seeing a lot of amazing cards for us. Okay, we are really not getting the lands we need, but I mean there is a Karakas, which is good. There is also an Ancient Tomb, which doesn't fix us at all, but it does tap for an extra mana, which is generally pretty good. Volcanic actually helps us. It lets the Wooded Foothills get us blue, so we might actually play that. Yeah, I feel like. Okay. So here we have a Effect of Fiction, we have a Euro, and we have a Bitter Blossom. Not really interested in Bitter Blossom. It creates a 1/1 each turn, which is good for grinding, but it also deals us 1 damage each turn, and we could easily just lose because of that. Euro is pretty good, especially if we can pick up some more fetch lands. Bolas Citadel also pretty good, but not really, a bit too expensive, I feel like. Fact or Fiction, pretty good as well, but I think we're gonna take Euro. Yeah. Just a good value engine. Okay, so in the last game I made the mistake of picking Birthing Pod over this card, and this card is excellent for Graveyard Hate. So we could take that. Don't really feel like this big creature is gonna help us that much. There is an Yugen the Spirit Dragon, which is the best planeswalker, but it costs... the most powerful planeswalker, but it costs 8 mana. So do we have a cheap do we want to have a cheap castable but low impact card, or do we want this big I win the game card? And I think we want the cheap card that lets us win specific matchups. Alright, still no real lands, but we have a Tireless Tracker, which is a pretty powerful card. We could also take the cheap Acceleration, but it's not like we're ramping into a lot of stuff. It is good with Mind Twist. Tireless Tracker, is that gonna come around? I feel like maybe we should take the cheap creature. Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think like we're gonna take the cheap creature in this instance. Toxic Deluge is an amazing board wipe. Basically only costs 3 mana and gets rid of any old creatures. Yeah, let's take that. Oh my god, Verdant Catacombs is perfect. We're just gonna take that and not even bother to look at anything else. The rest is obviously amazing, but we definitely need this. Right? Yeah, it should get us all our colors. Okay, so this is a bit of a mess. Rakdos' Return. Not really in our color. This is a pretty good board wipe, honestly. Okay, let's be honest, it's not that good, but it's better than nothing. Otherwise, we could take this against problematic lands. I feel like it's gonna be harder to win burn matchups or aggro matchups. Okay, so this lets us copy an instant or sorcerer with converted mana cost 2 or less, which is actually quite a lot in our deck. Like, not gonna lie, we have a lot of cheap spells. It doesn't have flash, so you have to like play this and then play. So you have to copy something you play on your own turn, so it doesn't work with like counter spells, but still. Okay, so Griselbrand came around. What does this do? Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If you... Okay, we don't control a Liliana Planeswalker. Griselbrand. Did we have something reanimation stuff? Yeah, we did, but like... Yeah. I guess this is better in the sideboard than Griselbrand is. This lets Wooded Foothills get black. So that could be great, actually. Yeah. Oh wait, a Fallen Shinobi. Yeah, we're gonna take this card. Just for the heck of it. None of these things do anything for us, but Emery is cute. This draws us 2 cards. This is a really expensive card, so let's take the cheap card. Putrid Imp. I guess it's better than... Oh, actually, a Pact Rat is not bad at all. Okay, so yeah, we didn't really get the most of our mana fixing that we wanted to, but we did sort of get something. Like Hissing Quagmire is a green-black dual land, Tropical Island, blue-black or blue-green. This gets all of our 3 colors. This is just blue, and then it makes this get all of our 3 colors. Wait. Yeah. I mean, if we take this out, this can still get Tropical Island, but if we have already drawn Tropical Island, then this can also get Volcanic Island. Okay, so let's take this out and see where we're at with playables. Okay, 28. So we have a lot of cards actually. Definitely gonna start by cutting big expensive card. This card is like really good if you're playing a value matchup, like you're playing against an opponent that plays all of these types of permanents and they give you time to reach turn 6. Then this card is pretty good. Relic of Progenitors is good if we end up in a reanimation against a reanimation deck or just a deck that utilizes the graveyard. So let's take that out. So Fallen Shinobi is like really fun. It requires us to have some attackers. And how many attackers do we have? We have a Jiraga Tree Speaker and a Latimar Elves. We have a Stonecaller, a Pack Rat, and a Scavenging Ooze. Thief of Sanity could get in. It requires the creature to be unblocked, which we have Trigon and Thief of Sanity are pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, then there's also Nissa, which is pretty hard to cast maybe, but also at the same time not really. Like she costs 2 green, but it's also turn 5, so probably having 2 green cards. We do need to make a lot of cuts though. We do need some cuts. I think we want to play 18 lands in this deck. I think, just because we don't have a lot of fixing. And a way you can circumvent that is just by playing a bit of extra lands. We could take Vampiric Tutor out because basically Vampiric Tutor lets us get a specific card on the top of our deck so that we can draw it. But depending on the matchup, we might not have a specific card we desperately want to get. Like, for example, Fallen Shinobi or Nissa or Mind Twist. Well, maybe actually it is pretty good because if we need a threat, we can get a threat, and if we need a piece of removal, we can get that. Maybe actually Maelstrom Pulse is I'm looking to take that out because we also already have Assassin's Trophy, and yeah, I feel like Maelstrom Pulse is a bit expensive and we're not sure we need the removal. Same with Toxic Deluge. I think actually we're gonna take Toxic Deluge out and Maelstrom because we don't know if we need a bolt wipe and we don't know if we need this piece of removal because we already have Fatal Push for creatures, Nature's Clay for artifacts and enchantments, Assassin's Trophy for everything. So yeah. Let's make those cuts. And now we're on 24. I guess Tasigur can get out since we have Euro, and Euro utilizes the graveyard a lot better. And we don't have that many cards to put in our graveyard so that we can support both of them. Yeah, so I guess this card goes out. Galandra is pretty good. Thief of Sanity is good. Trigon is good. Euro is good. Leovold. We don't have any will effects, but it is still a good card. Like, I don't see why we wouldn't play this. Maybe it's a bit tough on the mana. Maybe it's gonna be hard to play this on turn 3, but like, we don't have to play it on turn 3. Then there's Pack Rat. Basically you can discard a card and then you get a copy of it, and its power and toughness is equal to the number of rats you control. So yeah, so it's a win condition, but you have to dump cards into it. You have to discard cards to it, and I feel like we don't necessarily need that type of win condition. This is good if you're like, I just need, like the same example with Biogenic Ooze. I'm playing against a deck that just can't deal with a creature that that like that multiplayed multi something about that kind of turns into more creatures. So maybe we take that out and see if we end up in that matchup. And now we have everything. Is that something that we don't really want to play? I feel like this is just a good card, honestly. These early drops, like, it's good to have early plays, and I don't really see anything wrong with playing these. We might end up cutting them if we don't feel like needing the acceleration, but yeah, don't think there's anything wrong with having them. And this is just an all-round good card. I don't really know about this, but I feel like that it's gonna get some value in. Like, we can duplicate Detection Probe at worst, so that we can draw an extra card. We can duplicate a Fatal Push. We can duplicate an Assassin's Trophy, an Inquisition. Duplicating a Vampiric Tutor doesn't do that much, really. Yeah, we can duplicate a Knight's Whisper to draw 2 extra cards, a Nature Claim to remove an extra artifact. Yeah, let's try it out. Could be that Pack Rat is better than Seagate Stormcaller. Could actually be. But I still feel like Pack Rat isn't really necessary in all matchup. It's not really a card that you need to win. Like, sometimes you can just win with a Seagate Stormcaller. Like, you don't need to create this Doomsday Engine. Okay, so wait, but we have a lot of sideboard options, so that's a good thing. So let's take all this in, and let's see what it suggests. Okay, so we have, this is basically not requiring anything, and then we have, how many blacks have we? 1, 2, 3 black symbols, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black symbols. How many green? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many blue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically a pretty even spread. So blue gives us, oh, we don't need this. Sorry. We don't need this Seachrome Coast. So yeah, let's see what it says. Okay, now it says 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So that gives us 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources. It gives us 5, 6 black sources. 5, 6, only 6 black sources, and then it gives us 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources, or green sources. So we have 8 blue, 6 black, and 8 green. So maybe we can play an extra black and 1 less green. Alright, let's try this. Okay, so yeah, see you.